Testing, testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, that's good, yes.
Lovely.
Well, good evening and welcome to this, the live stream of England women against Canada, here at the home of Harlequins, the Twickenham Stoop. It's England's second November international. They, of course, beat France at the main Twickenham Stadium just over the road on Saturday evening, and they'll be hoping to do the same against their opponents here, Canada. Canada themselves, who come off a victory against Les Bleus 8 days ago in Amnéville. So as we build towards a 7 p.m. kickoff, let's catch up with how both of the coaches are feeling ahead of what we're hoping will be a mouth-watering clash. Well, Francois, bonjour and welcome to the Twickenham Stoop. How are you feeling ahead of this encounter against England?
Well, very excited because I think this is the end of our trip, and I'm pretty sure the English team is look forward for remembering the Nations Cup this summer, so it should be a good game.
You've had a couple of tough encounters with France on the way here, but a victory in the last game, so that must give you confidence going into tonight.
Well, we are confident, but not too much. You know, we respect all our opponents, and we know that England is a very, very strong team. We saw them playing in Twickenham last Saturday, and they scored 40 points against France. So, yeah, it's a very good team.
What do you expect from the game this evening?
Well, I'm expecting a lot of movement and, if possible, good entertainment for the crowd. And for myself as a coach, I want to see many combinations and more players because we are still in selection for the World Cup.
And finally, how important is it for you to see certain players putting up their hands, knowing that you'll be facing England in that World Cup group in August next year?
Yeah, for sure. It's in a long time in another end, you know. And what we're going to do tonight maybe is not what we're going to do this summer, but it's going to give a good taste of what it could be in terms of a contest.
Bonne chance.
Merci.
Well, Gary Street, the daunting prospect of Canada. How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Yeah, good. I think we've got a lot of confidence from the weekend against France, and play that way tonight. I think we'll get a good result.
England have got Canada in their World Cup group, of course, and they've been beaten twice by them earlier this summer. So it's time for England to start putting those games into victories.
Yeah, we'll be a different prospect tonight. You know, we took a young side out there, and but we're revved up for the game. Canada are excited to have obviously win the Nations Cup, and they played really well over the summer, and we've got to pick our game up to surpass them tonight.
You made 11 changes since the game on Saturday. What does that say about where you are with this group of players? Yeah,
it's big strength in depth for us. You know. Games close together means that we need strong squads. We've got some cracking players. We're looking to forward for the World Cup as well, and we've got a training squad to pick next week. So it's important that all players get an opportunity, and I'm sure they'll relish it this evening.
And after the disappointment of the end of last season, I imagine it's key to get these back-to-back wins ahead of France 2014 next year. Yeah,
definitely. I want to win every game till next August now, Nick. So they're all important, but the process is important for us as well. We need to play well, and I want us to sort of feel that confidence that we had from autumn last year and pick it up and kick it on.
Best of luck.
Thanks, Nick.
So the stage is set here at the Twickenham Stoop then. We've heard from both coaches and, with the teams having done their pre-match preparation ahead of the game, I'm delighted to welcome Catherine Spencer alongside me, former England skipper. Catherine, great to have you with us here at the Stoop. And this place, well, it's a location where England lost the 2010 Rugby World Cup final, but it must still hold a lot of very positive memories.
Yeah, the Stoop does hold very good memories, particularly for me. I was fortunate enough to win my first cap here back in 2004, and that's a memory that's very fresh in my mind. But as you say, the last match here for England women was the 3-0 defeat against New Zealand in the 2010 World Cup final. Mixed emotions for them all, I guess.
Yes, I'd imagine so, but perhaps that competition was a moment where women's rugby and the support of it became really alive in this country, and so seeing the numbers that came down to support, it's obviously a nice place to come back to.
Oh, it was absolutely phenomenal, and the home World Cup in 2010 lifted the profile of the sport, not just in this country, globally, and it's been really pleasing to see that as an individual and for the team as well. The atmosphere during that final, stood on the middle of the pitch, facing the Harker, hearing Swing Low, was absolutely fantastic.
And England will no doubt take confidence from a strong win against the French on Saturday. Crucial step in moving on from what was the disappointment at the end of last season, when attention was somewhat divided between the 7s and 15s games. Let's have a look at the teams for this one then. Gary Street has made 11 changes to the side that beat France 40-20 on Saturday. 4 players from outside the 23 at the weekend come in to start in Lydia Thompson, Abigail Chamberlain, Harriet Miller-Mills and Rowena Burnfield. 5 get a starting berth who are on the bench, including 7 skipper Michaela Staniford, with 2 positional changes, Amber Reid moving to full-back from centre and Marley Packer going from 6 to 7 on the flank. For Canada, Francois Ratier makes 5 changes from their win in Amnéville 8 days ago. 2 in the front row with Hilary Leith and Kim Donaldson starting. Stephanie Bernier gets the nod ahead of Kayla Moleshi at scrum half, while in the centre, Andrea Burke partners Brittany Waters and 25-year-old Magali Harvey starts on the left wing. And looking at the two benches, well, a wealth of experience awaits on the England bench. 306 caps between them, ranging from Sasha Aitchison, who made her debut on the weekend, to Rochelle Clark with 86 caps. And Maggie the Machine Alfonsi in there, also hoping to make an impact. For Canada, the bench is notable for the presence of Elisa Allery. She scored twice in both defeats of England in the summer, so the home side will have her card marked if she makes an appearance, I'm sure. And, well, maybe question marks over her fitness for the fact that she's starting on the bench. So the Canadians this afternoon, or this evening rather, Catherine, what should we make of them?
Yeah, I mean, Canada, I know, have been focusing on their physicality, and that certainly came to fruition at the Nations Cup, which they won under new head coach Ratier. I think they're going to have to do that from the first whistle today. They'll be very physical forwards, but want to match that physicality with pace and tempo.
OK, well, let's just have a look through some of the players that we can point out for you this evening to keep a look on. And, well, let's have a look at Amber Reid, first of all. Playing full-back, new position for her, Kath.
Yeah, Amber was one of the players that actually benefited from the Sevens focus last year, and has become a really very strong centre for England, and really deserves her selection in the squad today. A little bit of a forced change with Kay Wilson going off injured on Saturday, Nolly Waterman out with injury, so Amber Reid is taking that 15 shirt today. I'm really interested to see that. I think she'll be very stable in that position. She's got a very good boot, but also a very strong runner in attack. I'd like to see her come into the line.
OK, well, we await that with great interest. Let's have a look at scrum half Natasha Hunt, Mo Hunt as she's known. She was on the bench against France. And, well, Gary Street giving both scrum halves an opportunity.
Yeah, quite different scrum halves. Toya Mason is in there for a distribution, has got a great pass on her. Natasha Hunt really has great tempo to her game, a very exciting player to watch. I'd love to see her snipe round some of the breakdowns today off the back of the scrum. I know she'll be pressurising their scrum and the base of their feed out to 10.
In terms of a scrum half sort of relationship, perhaps with the men's side, you've got a sort of Lee Dixon whose distribution is there, but maybe the sniping Danny Kerr, Ben Youngs' type, and that's more what we'd expect from Natasha this evening. Yeah,
that's right, and it's perfect for Gary Street to have that combination to work with. You know, he's got an option for every team that he comes up against.
So Vicky Fleetwood is another player that we could expect great things from, and, well, there's great competition in the hooker role, isn't there?
There is massive competition at the hooker role at the moment with England, and not much between them, I'd argue. Emma Croker always performs exceptionally well for England after taking her break out to have her children. Vicky Fleetwood is an up-and-coming player, a little bit younger, but they're both really, really performing well and competing for that first choice shirt.
And of course, because there was a heavy concentration on how well the women's team could perform at the Sevens World Cup, which didn't go quite to plan, we've got players that have come back from that setup who can make a big impact. Michaela Staniford, another one of those players for England, who is no doubt waiting to shine in the 15 shirt once again, and well, she can be devastating and a real finisher out wide.
She can, Michaela, very versatile player and very experienced, as you say now. I remember playing alongside her when she got her first cap back in 2005, I think, at the Arms Park in Cardiff. But she's really come on this last 2 or 3 years. She's captained the Sevens team. She's a very experienced player for Gary Street to call on, and I know will do a job on the wing for England today.
So those are a few of the players that you can look out for this evening from England, and let's now get you a little bit more familiar with some of the players from Canada, and we can start with Magali Harvey, and there she is with the ball in hand. And Kath, what do we know about Magali?
Yeah, Harvey's performed well for Sevens in Canada, and I know that's something they're trying to do, bring in their Sevens players into this 15 squad leading up to next World Cup. She's been a star in that competition, and I know they're going to look to her to bring her in as a really potent attacking option for Canada today.
So Magali Harvey, who will be playing number 11, and you can just hear in the background that the Canadians are going to be making their way. Let's just have a quick look at Bianca Farella, and well, she knows how to finish as well.
She does indeed, and playing on the opposite wing today from Harvey, she scored 2 great tries against France in their series last week. Canada really wanting to be looking at both their wings to bring that speed and pace into this game.
So the England team make their way out, Canada just making their way out ahead of them. And they'll make their way over to the far side from where we're sat for this second autumn international for England. Arm in arm they stand awaiting the anthems. England, of course, beaten twice in the Nations Cup by Canada in the summer after a tough tour to New Zealand. This is going to be a chance for retribution on the journey to August 2014.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem of England.
So here we go then, 261 days until France 2014 gets underway. England looking to get their first victory over Canada at the third time of asking in 2013. You're watching England Women Live, streaming online from rfu.com. I'm your match commentator Nick Heath. You can reach me on Twitter on @RugbyMedia, and alongside me is Catherine Spencer, former England captain. Our referee for this one is from France, Sylvia Bross, who's been officiating for around 8 years, and she'll be ably assisted by Nicky O'Donnell and James Sullivan. And our TMO for this one is Catherine Lewis. So the England team in their huddle, getting some words from captain Katie McLean. Scream of England all together, and England will get us started, kicking from right to left as we look at it in the white, Canada in the red and white. And this start going to be so important to set the tone for the game. England chasing up, and McLean waits to get us started. McLean strikes the ball right-footed. Jump was from Latoya Blackwood, but I think she's just knocked that on there. And straight away from the start, England will have a decent platform for an attack. And that won't be the ideal start for Canada.
Yeah, not great for Canada, but a great chase from England from that kick-off there. Really lovely high kick from Katie, and I think it was Tamara Taylor that got up there and put the pressure on and got the ball back for England. So lovely attacking scrum position now for England.
Yes, early chance for Natasha Hunt to get the ball in. Oh, and we've got a free kick from a bit of an early engage, or maybe a loss of bind, and England want to tap and go quickly with Harriet Miller-Mills. But the ball's just been knocked on in the tackle, so it's a pretty chilly night here at the Stoop, and might just take a few minutes for the fingers to warm up. That might be why you've just got a few of these little early fumbles.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe some early game nerves from Harriet there. She really is a very strong ball carrier at number 8, and I think I might have liked to have seen her just put her head down and really sprint forward and power through with the ball then. But good that she's looking to keep the ball alive, but just maybe some early nerves from Harriet.
So chance for Canada. Ball is away at the base with Bernier. Comes down to the right-hand side. England getting numbers in on the Canadian 22. Bernier wanting to use her forwards. Kelly Russell, skipper, just shepherding that one on. Bernier once more. Blackwood back inside for JC Murphy. Ball goes to ground, and you can see England's Marley Packer just putting an awful lot of pressure on there, and England come forward, and at the moment Canada are going backwards. Bernier gets the ball away for Burke, who puts boot to ball, but, well, they've chased up well on that right-hand side, or sorry, their left, but the ball's just gone forward. England unable to gather it and take full advantage. Could have been an opportunity for the turnover, but still a fairly decent position for England with possession inside the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, definitely, and good positioning from Amber Reid there to come up at full-back, and they're obviously expecting that kick from Canada, but England really well so far, and as you say, Canada really struggling to get out of their territory. England putting a lot of pressure through their back row, really hustling for the ball.
Got a few kickers in the side. Andrea Burke, you just saw, put boot to ball, and Magali Harvey is also a kicker, but Jackie Titley likely to be the one that we see taking the conversions this afternoon. Katie McLean thinks about going back inside. Scored a memorable try against France at the weekend as it just opened up for her to scythe through. But the ball's at the back. Communication from Hunt, just letting her forwards know when she wants the ball. Carry forward by Hemming. Going round the corner, England going wide now. And it's Amber Reid who ships it on. Michaela Staniford. Ball is on the ground. England getting numbers there to secure it. Canada come forward as a line. Miller-Mills. Now have England got the opportunity to get this wide? Claire Purdy providing a bit of cover for Hunt to go in and get the ball. McLean, does she get the ball back? There's a penalty advantage being played to England. Can they use this? Oh, it just comes forward off Hannah Gallagher, and this could be an opportunity for 3 points.
Yeah, Canada really wanting to get up quickly in defence then, and just overshot it slightly and given away a penalty for offside. Great start for England. They'll be pleased with this. Kept Canada pinned back in their own territory. See early signs of England wanting to get it wide as well, and Michaela getting her hands on the ball early, but really good support from the England forwards. I think it was Rowena Bienfield from second row who got across to the wing and cleared out that ruck very, very well. So we just see Katie line up for the penalty.
Well, Katie McLean had a great evening with the boot on Saturday. This should be meat and drink for a player of her calibre. Strikes it straight through. 3 points on the board for the home side. Penalty for Katie McLean, and after a few minutes in the Canadian 22, England take advantage and get themselves on the scoreboard.
Katie McLean bring the score to England 3.
So Jackie Titley gets ready to get Canada restarted. It's a little deeper kick, asks Miller-Mills to field it, which she does. Takes the ball into contact. Hunt looks off to Hemming. Hunt once more. McLean. Burford looking outside, possibly for Amber Reid to join the line, but missed her out to Thompson. England still with possession, and they've got a penalty. Canada not getting out of that rut. McLean, little step, takes an extra couple of yards. Referee still happy to allow play to go on. See what England could do with this. Just held up in the middle there, and it's still available though. And well, you saw Claire Purdy think about the offload there, but just decides to keep it in. Little cut back in from Gallagher, but we are going to go back for the penalty. And well, Canada not quite being able to help themselves there, just getting themselves in the wrong positions. And well, we've even got a flag in.
Yeah, just while the referee and the lineswoman are chatting, Canada really are so scared about the quick ball from England, and you could see Rachel Burford having to hold on to the ball. She couldn't get the pass out, it was blocked. It's be interesting to see what the referee comes back with now.
Well, penalty has been reversed. I think it's against Natasha Hunt, possibly not releasing the player on the ground. So, Jackie Titley has said she's going to go for the sticks with this one. Kick is further out than Katie McLean's effort, so be a decent range if she gets this one, Spence.
It would be indeed, yeah. I know she has got a good kick on her, and she'll be really pleased if she can get this over early in this stage in this game and equal England. Good conditions for kickers here tonight, though. Really still, no wind at all.
Jackie Titley gives it a good lick. I don't think it's quite going to get there, and in fact is fielded by Packer, and she wants to run it straight back, and she spotted a bit of a gap over on that right hand side and gets it up to the 22. Good strong work and strong run from Packer. Natasha Hunt, Katie McLean sends chasers after that one. Ball is well fielded by Zussman. Canada wanted to try and run this, and this is the sort of entertaining brand of rugby that you often see in these international contests. Ball has come forward and is available for England. Hunt is there, Tamara Taylor offering protection. Oh, but Katie McLean's just nudged that one forward. So we'll go back for the initial knock-on, which was from a Canadian hand, and England will have the scrum. But interesting ambition from Canada there, not to run that back into contact, but to try and go wide themselves on the counter-attack.
Yeah, definitely, you can see the intentions there, and Bianca Farella at 14 looking for the gap and trying to explode through that. Unfortunately, just losing the ball in contact, which Canada are really going to have to tighten up through this game.
Yes, wingers of Bianca Farella and Magali Harvey. Got a fairly heavy Quebecian, I don't know if that's the right phrase, but lots of people from Quebec, let's put it that way. Large representation from that part of the world. Mo Hunt tries to take it quickly at the back, but got to realise that it's been given to Canada and not England. Canada come away, it's not the tidiest of balls given by skipper Kelly Russell, but it's picked up by Andrea Burke over the English 10-metre line, and Bernier decides to go to the left. Little miss pass is from Titley. This is the first real bit of Canadian possession inside England half, but England have turned it over. Ball is with Miller Mills in the red scrum cap. Lydia Thompson in there, doing what a good winger should do when she sees the opportunity. Get in there and help her forwards out to secure the ball. Hunt looking for the clearance, but it's been charged down. Now what's the decision from the referee? There is an offside. Natasha Hunt looking to go quickly, but just got a little bit of interference from the Canadian players, and there'll be a chance for Katie McLean to take this down the touchline for an England throw-in.
Great work from England again to turn that ball over in the breakdown. Canada have gone wide twice and lost the ball twice. Coach won't be very happy with that at this stage.
That's an interesting note from the game against France at the weekend. England doing so much right, but it was the breakdown area where they did lose the ball a few times, and well, Canada do present a threat up front, but perhaps not as much as the Canadians did, sorry, as the French did. Decent run from England over the halfway line. Packer always involved in so much of what England do these days. England coming down the left wing, Michaela Staniford into the challenge of Farella. Thompson across, offering her support. Hunt, McLean, little burst from Hemming. McLean to the right, all through the centres, and this could be a chance. Burford doing well. Oh, a little pass there. I thought it might have gone to ground for a knock-on, but actually I think England have held on to that. They've got to try and get more bodies in there to secure it, though. They do have it. Hunt, McLean, steps off the left boot, tries to find some room over on the right-hand touchline, and McLean does well. Out of the challenge of Farella, and up to the 22. Hands the ball on. England will take confidence from that. Almost looked like nothing was on. McLean, wider through Burford. Has got Titley in with the tackle. Hunt on for Packer. Such an elusive runner, Marley Packer. Hunt again, out to the right hand side. McLean likes to try and step and beat the defender once. England not really finding a lot of space out wide so far. You get a sense it will get there at some point as Claire Purdy tries to crab last inch or two on the floor. She might have crabbed away from her support for a moment. England do get the ball secure. Out for McLean. Decides to go behind Amber Reid. Uses her as a decoy. Burford onto Chamberlain. Ball is there. Is it available? In fact, it's a penalty for England. Canadian bodies, including Brittany Waters, the outside centre, not rolling away. And with the scores all tied, with England looking to extend the lead. For a moment, I'd imagined Canada had got that early penalty. My apologies.
Good period of possession for England. They'll be relatively pleased with that. Looking to keep the ball alive, little short passes away from the tackler, and that's working quite well at the moment. Lovely break from Katie earlier, but she was actually forced to go down the blind side on the right hand side of the pitch, away from that Canada rush defence.
Yes, it was the first real break that got the crowd going here at the Twickenham Stoop. Longer kick, this one for McLean. Right in front of the posts. Strikes it right-footed, decides to keep it low, to drill it through the uprights, and she's done so. Great
Really
technique
good kick
from McLean.
Really good kick from Katie, great technique as you say, and she's playing on the confidence that she had from France when she had such a good kicking game there. It's great to see Katie on form.
So England double their lead, 6 points to 0, they lead. Just coming up to 14 minutes played of this first half. Shorter restart, and that's an intelligent restart, well taken by Farella. Deepest into England territory Canada have been so far. They've got to try and use this though as England apply the pressure at the breakdown. Ball seems like it's going to squirt out, picked up by Kelly Russell. It is a penalty though. Ball is back to Russell, and could this be a chance for Titley to try and halve England's lead?
Yeah, unfortunately England coming in from the side on that breakdown, their keenness to overturn the ball again and disrupt Canada's ball has unfortunately resulted in a penalty.
Well, there's McLean's effort just a few moments ago, but it looks like Canada, almost from the restart, are going to get a chance to reply. How often do we see that at the very top of the game, or all levels of the game? Defending after a score, so important.
Yeah, and this kick has resulted from a lovely kick-off and a great take from Farella to keep Canada down in this half and have this kickable opportunity.
Titley then stands over this. Missed one already today. That one looks like a better strike. And the flags are raised. Canada on the scoreboard as we come up to quarter of an hour played. England 6, Canada 3. She'll be pleased to get that first one over.
She will be after the long range attempt to start with, as we can see the kick here. I can't pretend to be much of a kicker myself, but that looks like great technique there, and England can't afford to give any penalties away in that area.
England get restarted. Oh, ball is fumbled along the floor by Laura Russell, sister of the skipper Kelly. Both brought up in Bolton in Canada. Her father played for the Toronto Nomads. The two of them have played as well. Ball goes wide. Good hands from the Canadians. Oh, and there is the penalty. They decide to go quickly. They want to try and keep this game alive, and they want to try and use the passing and pace to get around England. Farella over the halfway line. Bernier gives it off for JC Murphy to carry up. Titley goes to the left, just tries to step inside the challenge of Vicky Fleetwood. There's a stray boot on the floor. Andrea Burke. Bernier to the left this time. Titley, little short ball as she brings in the fullback Zusman on the crash ball. Better spell of possession this from Canada as they come up to the halfway line. Comes to the right, but well, there is a call I think from the near side, and there was an offside, but Canada determined to keep things going. Ball was in the middle of the park, so they've opted to run it rather than aim for the touchline. Little dancing feet from Magali Harvey down the left. Bernier finds JC Murphy, supported by Russell. That's Toya Blackwood. Good run from her. Canada, ball over the top. Don't think there's a shoe on that foot there. Michaela Staniford brings the ball to ground. She's going to need support there, although there could be a Canadian body lying on the wrong side. England are going to have to clear her out there, and I think they've got the penalty advantage from it. Yes, indeed. And Mo Hunt tries to go quickly. There's Jackie Titley playing with one boot on at the moment. She's not going to get a chance to recover though, as she goes back to try and collect the ball. Pumped downfield from Katie McLean. She's got the boot on the right foot that she kicks with. Miller Mills, oh now then, I think she made contact with that before the ball went out, so it is going to be a Canada throw-in. There'll be a chance for the Canadian fly half to put her footwear back on.
As if it's not difficult enough playing international fly half, to play with one boot is quite impressive, and good composure from Titley to carry on then actually, and was heavily involved in that passage of play. Yeah,
she certainly was. It's a good job it wasn't her kicking foot. Line out is one at the back by Canada. Not sure that it was meant to go to the back, but they managed to tidy it up anyway. And you can see that Burke steps in to play fly half just while Titley gathers herself. Harvey trying to get round on the outside, flicks the ball back in, well taken by Zusman, keeping it alive. Latoya Blackwood runs into her own player but keeps hold of possession for Canada. Coming over the halfway line, Claire Purdy brings her to ground. England coming in at the side. It's a direct penalty against Rowena Burnfield there, and Canada tap and go again. This is absolutely breathless and endless stuff. Quick taps from both sides as soon as they're getting penalties at the moment. It's as if both coaches have said, our strategy is to tire the other one out. Well, if they both keep this up, this game will be all over at half-time. Ball to ground, Bianca Farella. Oh, but England look to have stolen that.
Yeah, great work from Hannah Gallagher there, and number 6 getting that ball from the breakdown. A fantastic turnover to try and halt this wave after wave of Canada attack. Ball is kicked forward from Hunt, chases on from Burford.
She's going to allow Zusman up, and Zusman does well to get away from Burford. Shows for Staniford as well, but then gets away. England have got to be careful though. Players going in on the floor. Marley Packer seemed to take a bit of a knock there. That's her just down there, number 7. And there's some ice straight on.
England will be pleased now to be in the 22 with a penalty of themselves. Canada had some really good possession there, really showed their intent, working well with forwards and backs, but trying to get that ball into the hands of Harvey and Farella on the 2 wings.
Well, let's just see if we can have another little look here. There's Packer. I think she's taken a knock there. Bit of a tweak on the right knee. She's on her feet though.
Marley Packer's definitely made of tough stuff. She'll want to stay on the pitch for as long as she possibly can.
Yeah, she certainly will, of course. Canada will want her to stay on the pitch as long as she can, because there's a certain Maggie Alfonsi on the bench, isn't there? I don't imagine many international teams like seeing her come running onto the field.
England are blessed with tremendously high quality back row players at the moment. Maggie Alfonsi definitely won't want to be on the bench at the moment. She'll want to be out on that pitch as soon as possible.
So England with a real attacking opportunity. They'll be hoping for the game's first try from this moment. Vicky Fleetwood throws the ball to Burnfield. Brings the ball down, and England want to try and rumble this. Canada are going to have to be sound defensively as they break, and there's a chance here for Hemming. Is she over? Yes, she is. Try for England. Quarter of the match gone, and England have their first score in terms of a try over the whitewash. Sophie Hemming getting try number 3 for her country.
That's a great try for England. Graham Smith, the forwards coach, will be very pleased about that. Really good clean ball at the front of the line out. Great drive. Sophie Hemming's a good friend of mine, so I'm very pleased that she managed to get over the try line.
Excellent 60-second cap this evening for Sophie Hemming. Very experienced prop. She's straight through there. Look at it. Takes 3 or 4 of the Canada players to try and stop her. Plays her rugby in Bristol. She's won 5 Six Nations Grand Slams. That's the sort of experience you need to score a try from that sort of range.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. The Canadian forward defenders didn't know where to go there, and unfortunately left a gap in the middle, which Sophie Hemming spotted really well. She's been working on her pace, and when you're a prop, it's kind of the pace over 2 or 3 metres that counts. That's a great try for Sophie. She would have really enjoyed that.
So England open up a little bit more air between themselves and Canada. McLean, oh, she's just sliced that one a little wide. It just comes off the right hand upright. She'll be a little bit disappointed, but she shouldn't be. She's kicked well, and that was tricky. England with the lead, 11 points to 3.
Yeah, good lead for England. Canada have had a lot of possession, but against top teams, England are going to have to defend, soak that up, and then when they can, take their opportunities and keep the scoreboard ticking over.
Well, yes, Canada certainly haven't shied away from the challenge. We didn't expect them to, having beaten England twice already this year, and they've had some solid periods of possession, so England haven't had it all their own way. Some people often think they do by the time they see scorelines at the end of matches, but they're having to fight in this opening 20 minutes or so, and they've done well to get that first try on the board. And here come Canada now then, sending it out wide to Farella. Well tracked by Burnfield. Farmer's tackle. Taylor, her second row colleague, in there making the next hit. Oh, and it's back on England's side. Hunt, McLean. Could they possibly spot a dogleg in defence here? And maybe they can. And there's a chance Lydia Thompson, if she can pin her ears back. She's been brilliantly brought down by Magali Harvey. But England still with possession, not having to commit too many to that ruck. Tamara Taylor out wide. Good aggressive challenge. England hold on to the ball. McLean, little show herself, has got Packer for company. McLean steps around 2 or 3 of them. Does well there. Girl from South Shields. Oh, but Harriet Miller-Mills just knocks on just took her eye off the ball, and it'll give Canada a little bit of respite and a chance from the scrum to perhaps clear their lines or at least get out of territory.
Yeah, an unfortunate mistake again from Harriet. Lovely little break from Katie, showing her footwork there from number 10 and really taking the team forward. She looks like she's really playing with some confidence at the moment. Yeah, unfortunately just took her eye off the ball there, Harriet.
Stephanie Bernier, 25-year-old, gets the ball in, but it's been won against the head, and Miller Mills could make amends by carrying from the back for England. She does, up to the 22. Hunt to the left, looks down the short side. McLean's got Staniford. Staniford tries to stand Farella up, makes another couple of yards. She's had to finish from those sort of range in sevens plenty of times. Michaela Staniford relishes those one-on-ones, perhaps didn't have an awful lot of space that time. Miller Mills involved again. England will want to get that ball to ground, they do so. But the penalty, well, penalty's coming against them, and I think it's been given as an attacking collapse of them all. And England knew that if they didn't get that ball to ground, it would have been a turnover. And in the end, it's a penalty to Canada anyway.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that. Actually, I'd quite like to look at the breakdown before, because Canada looked like they might have sneaked offside around the fringes, but got to play with the referee, and here they are, a chance to clear their lines and give themselves another attacking platform.
Yeah, Sylvia Bross perhaps not spotting what our co-commentator Catherine Spencer spotted. Plenty to watch out there for the officials, perhaps a little easier for us. But a chance here now for Canada to try and get further out of their 22. Kim Donaldson throws to the middle, goes over the middle, goes to the back again. She's done that a couple of times. Oh, that's a decent little break from Stephanie Bernier. Spotted a little gap. Latoya Blackwood into Miller Mills. Tackle was made by Burford, I think. Comes to the left, Bernier, Titley, wanting to use the centres, Waters. Good hands from her just to ship it on. England kept in check by the referee as JC Murphy with the headband. Oh, now then, penalty England, holding on to the ball on the floor. They've been penalised a couple of times for that. And what's the decision from England? They've got an 8-point advantage. Is it an opportunity to extend that, or do we go down the corner? Spence, if you were on here, captain's decision?
When I was playing, I always liked to go 2 clear try points ahead before kicking for line or running it. It'd be a tricky kick for Katie, but I think she's going for line. Good decision from Katie. 11-3 up, playing well, keep Canada back pinned in their own 22.
Yes, trickier kick with her right boot as well, on the right hand side of the posts. Saw that earlier effort that just curved from right to left.
Yeah, indeed, and Canada will start to get frustrated. They've had good periods of possession, but they're still stuck in their 22.
Good jump in the line from Taylor, but it didn't quite come down for her, and Canada have had a chance to snaffle this, and that'll disappoint Gary Street. But, well, Titley has stumbled a little bit, and needed a bit of a harried clearance. It's not been cleared, and Marley Packer is given the ball. Look at that aggressive challenge from Packer. Hunt talks to her forwards. Hannah Gallagher asked to carry on. Hunt once more. McLean avoids, goes around the back of Chamberlain, and then Staniford asked to ask more questions of Farella defensively. Farella does well to hold on to her. Miller Mills in the middle. Oh, she might have had a chance to go herself. Vicky Fleetwood fancies it straight through the legs there of Magali Harvey, and England have got room out on the right hand side if they can get there. Packer, oh, in the challenge she has to throw it wide. Lydia Thompson having to do the clear up work. It is there for England though. Tamara Taylor could get a little isolated there. Latoya Blackwood, brilliant turnover, jackling of the highest degree, and earns her side a penalty. Great work from the Canadian second row.
Yeah, I think possibly England will be kicking themselves a little bit. Couple of opportunities. See a great little drive from Vicky Fleetwood there.
Straight through the legs.
And we just see Marley Packer taking it on. Should be a fairly straightforward 2-on-1, but just trying too hard there. Trying to go beyond the tackler before she offloads. England really need to take these opportunities.
So Canada get a line out right. Kayla Mack, the one who jumps. Andrea Burke offloads to Blackwood, and she's away here, Blackwood, and she's a strong runner. And she's over the halfway line. England need to bring her down, and they do eventually with Amber Reid. Last line of defence was really needed there. Canada with real momentum here. A lot of players committed in that ruck. Oh, now did that go backwards? No, it was forwards. I think the referee did ask a question of her assistant. But England will be pleased. Cracking break from Blackwood.
Yeah, fantastic break from Blackwood. She's had a really good start to this game. Really good half an hour, turning ball over in the breakdown. Really strong and physical, and really showing her pace there. She's having a really good start to this game. Really impressed with her.
Yeah, she's played 13 minutes against France 8 days ago. Of course, Canada, they lost to France, but then they managed to turn it around and beat them 11 points to 6 in their second game. Been on tour in Europe for a few weeks. England with possession. Miller Mills plays her rugby in Lichfield. Got a quarter of an hour at the end of the game on Saturday at Twickenham. Great experience of playing in front of the Twickenham crowd, no doubt. Split loyalties in the Miller Mills family, of course. Her sister playing for Scotland.
England winning a penalty again. Canada not bound correctly in the scrum. So once again they're turning Canada around again, back towards their own 22.
So Marley Packer just down out of your shot, getting a little bit more attention. You wonder how long it might be before you see the introduction of a certain Margaret Alfonsi just down below us, getting stripped off perhaps to warm up. But in the meantime, it's a good jump at the line out from Tamara Taylor. Ball is coming down the line. Burford onto Chamberlain. Ball squirts out. Good awareness from McLean. Burford. It had gone past Mo Hunt there, and McLean was running past. Said, "Don't worry, I'll pick it up for you." England from Reid. All pass just getting away from Vicky Fleetwood. Advantage being played. Packer's back on her feet on the near side and defending, but I think she's doing it with one knee out of two. Ball comes for Hilary Leith. British Columbian. Out from Bernier. Titley up to the halfway line. Bernier wasn't quite caught. Claire Purdy went in for the tackle, but they're just going a little bit backwards more than they are forwards at the moment, Canada. And England trying to get hold of the ball on the floor, but despite the innocent look, I think they'd strayed offside, and Canada want to go quickly, and Vicky Fleetwood and Michaela Staniford had to be alert to that challenge, and were so. Kim Donaldson carrying. This is good stuff from Canada. Bernier looks for skipper Kelly Russell. Good carry on by her. Bernier, Titley. Outside centre, Waters playing inside. Then ball is away for Kayla Mack. Out to the left this time. Titley, all little ball back inside for Waters. Then around the outside goes Zusman. Shepherded into touch. I say shepherded. I think Lydia Thompson would probably prefer the phrase dumped.
Yeah, great tackle from Thompson there. Again, a long period of possession for Canada. They just can't seem to break through the England defence at the moment, as it looks like Megan Machine is replacing Marley.
Well, there you are, number 20 running into your shot. Marley Packer just limping off. She's got a knot to that right knee. And, well, Maggie Alfonsi Great to see her back in an England shirt. She played at the weekend. Got a little bit of unkind treatment, I think, from the analysis at half-time. I think so. When she ran in for her try, I was told it looked like she was running in treacle. Poor thing, she's only just come back.
She certainly had a great game at Twickenham. Marley will be really disappointed. Let's just hope that it's nothing too serious, but a real crowd pleaser, Maggie, and you could hear the cheers from the crowd when they saw Maggie run on, and she'll want to have another great game today after such a long period out through injury.
Yes, earning her 65th cap. It was her 26th try that she scored at Twickenham at the weekend. 2 Women's Rugby World Cups. Alfonsi plays her rugby at Saracens. But our thoughts with Marley Packett, and hope that that injury is not too serious. Vicky Fleetwood. Burnfield down for Hunt. Finds enough time for herself to get the clearance kick downfield. Not quite taken first time by Magali Harvey, but gets the ball back inside for Zussman. Zussman runs hither and thither. Eventually brought to ground, but I think Alfonsi tried to get in there, but decision has gone against her. Titley constantly trying to get Canada moving. That's Andrea Burke. A couple of rolls on the floor for another half metre. Bernier. Seen a couple of good runs from Kayla Mack. Second row's really getting involved from Canada. They like looking for space. Kim Donaldson brought to ground by Chamberlain. Titley. Well tracked by England. Alfonsi, you can see they're out in the line. And in fact, advantage coming to England now. They might have turned this over. Hunt comes in to distribute. What have England got out to the right-hand side? McLean on to Alfonsi. And then Burford out for Thompson. Combination of Harvey and Waters bring her down. England using the forwards to punch it up a couple of times before they then go wider. Claire Purdy, next one asked to do a job. Hunt wants to think about sniping round the corner. We spoke at the start of the match about how certainly Kath Spencer would like to see a little bit more of that from Natasha Hunt. Vicky Fleetwood. Ball is available. Hunt, McLean, Burford round the back for Amber Reid. Decides to take 2 of them on. Kelly Russell brings her down. Ball is well presented by Reid. Putting herself pretty well in the full-back shirt so far. She's not had to do an awful lot. One big defensive tackle against Latoya Blackwood, which came well. But now the crossfield kick from Katie McLean, and the run is by Lydia Thompson. She's got one to beat, and she's in. Oh, it's a great finish. Great vision from Katie McLean. Try number 2 for England. And Lydia Thompson finishes it on her 5th cap and a 7th try.
Yeah, and Katie really has got her kicking boots on again today. As you say, great vision. There was acres of space out there. I know it's something that England have looked at and thinking about using the kick over this really fast rush defence from Canada. Really effective there, and Lydia Thompson got on the end of that kick really well to run in for that try.
Splendid work from the 21-year-old, created by number 10, Katie McLean. Great vision, and it just sent Harvey's running back. She was always chasing there, Harvey. Thompson was assured under the ball.
Yeah, Harvey had come really to tight in defence there, and Katie had spotted that space behind her. Really good finish there from Thompson.
Well, 2 tries on the board for England as we're inside the final 3 minutes. McLean, tricky conversion from the right hand side. Oh, it looks pretty good. That's a wonderful conversion from Katie McLean. I said it's from the difficult side. She's made it look easy.
That was a fantastic kick from Katie. She'll be really pleased with that. Right on the touchline. Most internationals, male or female, would be really pleased with that kick.
Quite right too. 18 points to 3, England lead. McLean 3 out of 4. 2 penalties early on. Try from Sophie Hemming and now a try from Lydia Thompson. And it's looking like the sort of scoreline they will be happy to go in with at half-time. Hunt to the right. McLean, that right boot once more. Ball sits up for Julianne Zusman. Kicks it downfield, gets a lovely bounce, goes out at the 22. McLean thinks about the quick one. But really decent from Zusman there. Made her debut for Canada against Scotland in 2007. Got a try in their win against France.
Yeah, good kick from Zusman there. Really good length back on the England 22, but England will want to get secure, decent ball here.
Vicky Fleetwood. Burnfield. Hunt with the high kick. Ball is just nudged backwards by Harvey. She's not great at taking the ball first up, often a little nudge. Tends to let it go backwards though, just to be safe, but England looking to exploit the time it takes her to settle that. Bernier out to the right, Titley. Not too tidy, but Farella picks up, and Farella straight through the gap here and wants to try and get past Hunt. She manages to do so, looks for support, but the ball's just gone forward in the tackle there. Referee spots it, and little nudge means that England will have a scrum, and well, clock could tick down for this to be the last act we have of the first half.
Yeah. Great break again from Farella there. We can see that pace and that intensity from her. Good work from Rachel Burford to get back and cover in defence. She'll know Farella only too well from the 7 circuit, and then who was it but Maggie to pounce on the loose ball after the tackle, but really good work from Rachel Burford there.
So Hunt gets the ball in. Ball is at the back with Miller Mills. Picks and goes herself. Makes some valuable yards around the right hand corner. Ball is available. Oh, little break through the middle by Hemming. She's so good at spotting those opportunities. That's how she scored the try. McLean threads one through towards the 22-metre line. The flag goes up. Is that going to be the last act of the first half? Referee just checking with her assistant. I think we are going to have this line out. Just a question mark over the time. There was a bit of a difference in the time on the stadium clock and the one on your screen, but we are going to have this line out. Oh, now ball was won by Canada, but it's spilled back on the England side. Purdy secures it on the floor. Could this present another opportunity for a third England try before the break? Good work from Amber Reid on the deck, pops it up for Alfonsi. They've got to try and get Burke out the way. She's on the wrong side. Penalty comes.
Andrea Burke on top of the ball there, not allowing fair contest, fair play of the ball. England would have liked to have got quick ball out there, and Andrea Burke intentionally or unintentionally stopping the flow of that ball there. So another opportunity to get some more points on the board just before half time. England will be really pleased with that.
Well, they'll be pleased with the points they've got on the board. They'll be pleased to have denied Canada opportunities as well. This is Alfonsi brought to ground. And there you can see number 12, Andrea Burke, not really getting out of the ruck. He's got to do more, make more of an effort to do so. Chance for McLean to add 3 more. McLean, right-footed, simple enough, and referee blows the whistle for half-time. So England doing the job they needed to do, taking it to Canada and proving that they are a little better this evening, that's for sure. 2 tries from Sophie Hemming and from Lydia Thompson. 3 penalties from the boot of Katie McLean and a conversion to go with that as well. We've had 1 penalty from Jackie Titley, But it gives us a half-time score of England 21, Canada 3, and Catherine Spencer alongside me. Gary Street and his coaching team, Graham Smith as well, they'll be pleased with what they've seen.
I think they'll be really pleased. I think that's a really good half from England. They look really sprightly, really good intentions, taking the ball well in the forwards and in the backs. They're not getting too wide too early, and that's forced because of the Canada defence, but they're coping with that really well, adapting on the pitch. I think they'll be very, very pleased. Canada, on the other hand, will be questioning what can they do. They've had good amounts of possession. There's been good breaks. They just can't get anywhere near that England try line at the moment.
Well, you're watching England Women against Canada on rfu.com/England Women Live. We're delighted to have your company this evening from the Twickenham Stoop. My name's Nick Heath, alongside me is Catherine Spencer, and we can just take you back through some of the highlights of that first half. And first penalty that came to England. Advantage being played by the referee there, and this was an opportunity for McLean to get England's first points on the board, which she put through with no problem whatsoever, settling England's nerves. And then Katie McLean, having slotted that one, decided to find some room down the right, Spence.
Yeah, you can see there is 3 or 4 Canada defenders pushing up there, so she was forced to go down to the blind side, but good vision from Katie, really showing some footwork, good support there from Hannah Gallagher, I think, to keep the ball alive. Lovely little break from Katie. She's been working on her pace the last couple of years, and now it's showing.
And then Chamberlain, really good strength, and well, her opposite number, Brittany Waters, lying all over the wrong side there. And this was penalty number 2 for McLean. Little lean, just to check it gets through, no problem with it. And England were up 6 points at that stage. We'd had a missed effort from Jackie Titley at the other end. There it is, sailing through the uprights. And then Canada, well, their first chance to get on the board. Penalty given, England coming in at the side.
Yeah, Rowena Beenfield coming in from the side there. Just a really good, aggressive second row, but sometimes gets on the wrong side of the referee's decisions.
And then we had our first try of the game. Close range, Sophie Hemming, little step round Latoya Blackwood. Blackwood, who's had a good first half, but defensively was just beaten by the prop there.
Yeah, this is perhaps something that England will discuss at half-time. Maybe a little bit disappointed, just didn't get that quite right. Communication between Marley and getting the ball out to Amber. I think Marley just trying a little bit too hard there.
And well, the second try was a beauty. Katie McLean spotting the gap over in the corner. Lydia Thompson able to make the most of the fact that Magley Harvey was out of position, was too narrow defensively, and showed great composure to finish.
Yeah, Canada is so conscious about trying to block any wide ball from England that they're really pushing up a very tight defence, and Harvey having to work really, really hard. Nearly gets there but doesn't quite manage it, and Thompson just has to try over the line, looking quite pleased with that.
She was always chasing, and there's the reaction from Katie McLean as she watches this tricky conversion from the right hand side go over. Wonderful effort from Darlington Moden Park Sharks fly half. And then a bit of Maggie Alfonsi carrying, always good to see that. A shame for Marley Packer that she's had to leave the field, but that was the penalty given away by Andrea Burke just on the stroke of half time, and it was a fairly straightforward effort for Katie McLean to add penalty number 3. Takes her personal tally of the first half to 11, and with 2 tries from Hemming and from Thompson, it gives us a half-time score of England 21, Canada 3. And Catherine Spencer, Canada are in England's group in the World Cup in August next year, so in terms of a psychological result, this will do an awful lot for them so far.
Oh, completely. And, England last played Canada in August over in the Nations Cup, where Canada beat them twice, albeit a development team from England. So this game, England are going to be really pleased with this position, and they're going to really want to set a stall in this second half, send a message to the world, if you like, and to Canada as they go back across the Atlantic, and for their thoughts leading up to the World Cup. So England and Canada in a pool with Samoa and Spain. Canada and England, the two key teams in that pool, we'd argue.
Yes, indeed. And as you can see with the graphic on your screen, Group B, Ireland, Kazakhstan, New Zealand and the United States, and Group C, Australia, France, South Africa and Wales. So England, well, they'll know Canada fairly well from having played them a few times in 2013. Spain, not an easy side. Samoa, perhaps a little less familiar with them, but well, from what we've seen of maybe some of the Samoans that make up the New Zealand side, they've got some big ball carriers.
They have got some big ball carriers, and actually one of my club teammates is currently over for Samoa trials, so a bit of an unknown entity. We played them back in 2005, I think, in New Zealand, so brilliant for them that they've qualified into this World Cup, and nice to see another nation in here. And Spain, as you say, a well-established team. They used to play in the Six Nations before Italy came in, and have performed really well over the last couple of years, so they will be a tough team to play. England can't get complacent about them by any means.
And in that Pool B, second tournament in a row that the USA, Ireland and Kazakhstan have been drawn in the same pool. Well, it's surely got to be all about the Black Ferns, New Zealand, in that pool.
I think so, but New Zealand won't have an easy ride. It'll be a tough pool for them. The United States are a very, very physical team, and they're going to be very up for that game against New Zealand. Ireland are an improving team every year, so I think that might be a very, very physical group, and New Zealand will come out of it after some really tough fixtures. I imagine you would predict that they would come out victorious in every one of those games, but not easy games by any means.
No, indeed. And then let's just turn our attention to the final group, Group C. And, well, just as in Women's Rugby World Cup 2010, the final of which was here at the Stoop, Australia, Wales and South Africa will meet each other in the pool stages. And in fact, Australia facing South Africa for the third tournament in a row, having beaten the Southern Hemisphere rivals 68-12 in 2006 and 62-0 in 2010. Bit of a trickier one to predict, that group.
It's just about what I was going to say. Yeah, it's quite an interesting pool, I think. France will need to step up their game, and sure they're going to want to on home soil. Australia, as we know, once they have time to train together as a 15s group, can perform very well, reaching the semi-final of the last World Cup. South Africa, slightly unpredictable, but performed well in Nations Cup, and I think with another 9 months training together, who knows?
Well, I understand that we've got the England coach Gary Street available at half-time, so let's just cross to him and find out his thoughts at half-time.
How do you think the first half went?
Yeah, please. It's a bit frantic and a bit quick, but 21-3 will taking that this morning.
Okay, excellent. Good luck for the next half.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sure Gary would have taken that this morning. That's what he says in his thoughts at half-time. But yeah, says it's a little bit quick.
It is a quick game, and I think it's hard to really explain that unless you're out there on the pitch playing it. You could see, both teams on both sides looking quite tired, but the tempo has been really stayed up there all the way through the half, and I'd like to see England, just as they run out now, just really, really ramping it up, both in pace and tempo, but in physicality as well in the forwards.
Now we could just quickly get the thoughts of the Canada coach, Francois Ratier.
That was a good first half. What did you say to the girls?
Well, we're actually not physical enough in the contact areas, so this is something we will try to address in the second half and try to accelerate a bit more the game. Our execution is not 100% positive, so make better tackle, win the ruck situation and better execution.
Thank you very much. Good luck for the second half.
Yeah, as you can see, Ratier saying that he wants his Canada team to up the physicality. They've lost a bit of ball in their breakdown, and that's something they've obviously chatted about at half time, so it'd be interesting to see how they cope with that in this second half.
Well, I hope you've managed to grab a cuppa. We've got 40 minutes of top-flight international women's rugby action coming for you here on rfu.com/England Women Live. Canada getting us ready to get restarted. We'll do our best to keep you up to date with any of the changes. But, well, we heard the coach there, Ratier from Canada, saying that they need more physicality, the Canadians, and, well, if they can avoid straying offside and lying on the wrong side, they're certainly disrupting England's rhythm in some of those breakdowns.
Yeah, most definitely. There's been a lot of penalties in this game so far, and that's something that actually both teams want to address. Both teams have given away penalties, but yeah, Canada really straying a lot offside a lot in their eagerness to pressure the England attack.
Well, here come Canada with possession in the first minute of this second half. And they won themselves a penalty. England the ones lying on the wrong side, not rolling away. Katie McLean and Rachel Burford the last two to get up there, but here come Canada once more. Karen Packin. And we have got a change at scrum half, as Canada have possession down on the right hand side, just inside the 10-metre line. Kayla Maleshi, the player who's on for Canada. Oh, little bit of handbags there. Penalty comes England's way. Maleshi played in the World Cup Sevens, 23-year-old who is on for Stephanie Bernier. Bernier did pretty well in that first half to keep things going, a fairly high tempo, so it'll be interesting to see what Maleshi can bring to proceedings. She has played in the centre as well, so perhaps it's a little bit more physicality from 9 that Francois Ratier wants.
Yeah, most definitely. Building up that physicality in the forwards, and they'll be looking for Maleshi to do that as well, as we see England going wide straight away.
Yes, Staniford into the challenge from Harvey. Harvey steps off and allows Brittany Waters to do some of the work for her. Referee has a penalty advantage to be played. Mo Hunt takes it quickly, and there's a gap opening up for Hunt. She goes in, Maleshi opposite number with the challenge. Ball is dropped at the base of that ruck, but penalty is coming, and, well, it's just a moment's pause here from the referee. I wondered if she was going to go to her pocket for a moment there, but just calls over Kelly Russell. I think she just wants the Canadians to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, really high intensity from both teams coming out after half-time. Everyone will be wanting to get the upper hand, but great little quick penalty from Natasha Hunt there. As we said, that's what we want to see, and that's what she's now doing. Great attacking line out here for England.
Vicky Fleetwood, Burnfield at the front, goes up to the middle for Taylor. England pile the bodies in, and it's at the back there with Hemming. Is she going to try and get try number 2? Yes, she is! It's exactly what England would have wanted, straight out of the traps in the second half. Sophie Hemming, try number 2. Catherine Spencer, your mate's done rather well again.
That was fantastic from the England forwards, so well controlled there. Really good. That's the kind of try I enjoy watching as an old school number 8, but really impressed with the England forwards. Obviously worked hard over the last couple of days. A short turnaround for England. They only played 4 days. Look at this great body height from England, all working really well. Tamara Taylor bossing from the front of the ruck, and that was relatively easy for Sophie just to pop over the line.
Forwards colleagues doing such a good job. The beautiful thing about the sport of rugby, moments of individual brilliance accompanied by real team effort, and you can see the forwards doing that and allowing Hemming to put the icing on the cake, and look how pleased they are. One for Graham Smith, that one.
8 forwards completely in unison, and it's so hard to defend when you're so in control, got that momentum.
Oh, that one from McLean, just radar completely off there, but hopefully she won't think too long about it.
It's something that international players have to do now. work on their men psychology as well, and they'll be wanting to forget about that Katie and think about the next job in hand now. It's the first bad kick from Katie, hopefully the only one.
Interesting talking to Gary Street during the week about the fact that Canada would go wide, that they have the forwards to try and attack, but they would try and go wide, and it seems that actually when he's needed it, sticking it up the jumper with the England forwards has been the most reliable form of scoring points themselves. Will we see a little bit more of that from the England forwards? A few more rolling balls, that'll make Graham Smith happy. Purdy settles the ball on the floor. McLean got runners going after that, putting pressure on Zussman, who juggles and holds it. Zussman might have tried to pass that away, but she's taken it in, and the penalty has been given away.
And that penalty has come because England had such a good chase there. 13, 14, 15, all up there. Canada had nowhere to go, and the end result is an England penalty. It was a really good chase there.
Well, Katie McLean will look to stick this one down the touchline, get England as close to that corner flag for an attacking line out as possible. And we could be seeing another forward rumble.
This is a great start to the second half from England. Really good 5 minutes, and Canada will be pretty disappointed. And yeah, let's see what the forwards can do again here.
Ball in from Fleetwood. A little bit disrupted in the line by Canada. Going backwards, good counter shove from the girls in red. England may just have to try and reset this one to get some forward momentum. Ball is there with Burnfield. Hemming off to Hunt. Going to go through the backs, are they? Little prod through from McLean. Ball is picked up by Zussman. Waters in support. Good break from her. Sets the ball back. Moleshi absent. Kayla Mack plays scrum half. Moleshi there eventually to get the ball away through Titley. Ball's come back on the England side there, but I think it was just knocked down. The referee saying from a white hand. Got a little untidy in there, and Canada will have the scrum.
Yeah, unlucky. Good tackle from Maggie Alfonsi in there, but after that just a little error from England. Canada want to use this to get out of their half and see if they can have some impact on this scoreboard. It's been England all the way so far in this second half.
Well, Canada had a scrum one against the head towards the end of that first half. What a position this would be if England could do it to them again. Oh, scrums moving all over the place, and they have won it again. Ball squirts out at the back. Incredible shove from England. Alfonsi has to tidy it up. Comes back Miller Mills. Dear oh dear, it's untidy ball. Penalty advantage coming England's way. And referee has seen enough. It's going to be a bit of a sin binning. 10 minutes on the bench for coming in at the side. A little bit of a conversation going on here. Karen Packin, the girl pinged, seems to be quite a conversation.
Yeah, I think Russell probably trying to confirm what the penalty for. I think Packin has taken one for the team there. Far too many penalties that Canada have given away, and the referee, and you know, you give that many penalties away, you have to expect someone to go to the bin, and unfortunately it's Packin that's taken it.
Yeah, there was lots of slowing of the ball down there. Packin holding her arms out, looking innocent. But England will have the numerical advantage for 10 minutes. What damage could they do? Jump is from Burnfield. Moleshi with the box kick clearance, but she's not really got any distance on that. Opportunity for England. And if they were dominating with 8 against 8 Well, England must be wondering how they could dominate with 8 against 7.
Yeah, that's right, but they need to win this line-out ball first. A little error in the last line-out. I expect them to go to the front or away in here. No, commentators, guess.
Well, Tamara Taylor takes it. It's at the back with guess who? Sophie Hemming. Well, I think she's got rid of it for Purdy. Oh no, sorry, Purdy coming in at the back there. Maybe Miller Mills. Maggie Alfonsi, it's gone to ground, penalties coming to England. Trying to change the front point of that maul, but side entry from Latoya Blackwood. The questions being asked from the Canadians of the referee when she gave that last yellow card. You wonder how much that's intimidated the referee, because in theory, if that's another breakdown penalty of slowing the ball down, well, you wonder if it's time for yellow card number 2.
Yeah, that's right. Canada may be lucky still have 14 players on there, but Blackwood actually really trying to disrupt England's ball, being really physical in that breakdown again, but unfortunately just got the penalty against her. This is where England forwards really need to assert their dominance now.
Natasha Hunt waits to put the ball in. Oh, scrum goes down on our near side. Free kick is given.
Yeah.
I think Mo Hunt tried to take that, maybe fumbled it, tried to take it again.
I think a bit of a lack of composure there from Mo Hunt. England have the number advantages, numerical advantage in the scrum. I would have liked a scrum call from that penalty decision.
Well, I think they're going to get the chance maybe from the free kick. Free kick wasn't taken from the spot. A little bit of a... Oh no, maybe it's been given as the knock-on. My apologies.
Yeah, a knock-on at the quick penalty, and Canada lucky to get the ball back.
So just out of your shot, a couple of players waiting to make an impact themselves. Ball is at the back there, Maleshi. Hunt doing all she could to pile on the pressure, as Canada have done well to hold on to it. Ball comes back. Titley clears downfield, but it's not gone out and presents an opportunity for Michaela Staniford. Burford, little step. Zussman for company. Does well to stick with her. Ball comes back on the English side, but Canada ruck over. But the penalties come for England. Taken quickly. Miller Mills. Burford took the quick penalty, but Canada weren't back 10.
Yeah,
Very central position.
Sasa Aitchison and Kerry Large on the side there waiting to come on. Sasha be coming on for a second cap after she won her first cap against France at Twickenham. What a place to win your first cap.
Yes, 11 minutes Sasha Aitchison got at Twickenham. And Kerry Large, we assume, will come on in place of Katie McLean.
Potentially though, I think Gary Street may look to bring her on to see her at 12, see how that combination works. That wouldn't surprise me.
We shall see in a moment or two, but another chance to just keep the scoreboard ticking over here for Katie McLean. McLean strikes the ball right-footed, looks good, flags are raised. England extend their lead. 29 points to 3. They extend it to as several changes are made. Olivia De Merchant, Mary Jane Kirby and Maria Sampson coming on for Canada. Sasha Aitchison and Kerry Large coming on for England, and indeed it's Abby Chamberlain who's leaving the field.
Abby Chamberlain that's come off. I think Burford may go out to 13 then, and Kerry Large into 12, and Sophie Hemming comes off after a great 50 odd minutes. She's played really well in this game.
Oh, now then, there's a charge down on the kick here, and a lot of pressure on Kerry Large, who's only just come on, and I think Large has done well enough there to tidy that one up. Now, decision is that she's had to carry that one over, so it's an attacking 5-metre scrum for Canada, and by putting on the pressure, they've given themselves a good opportunity here to try and add to those 3 points, but they're going to need a good scrum, and they're a player light in that department.
This is the best territorial position that Canada have been in. As you say, a player down, but they're going to want to give everything on this scrum.
Who just joined us, Karen Packin is the player with the sin bin. Maleshi, scrum half, trying to go, brought down by Alfonsi. Little short dart. Miller Mills is going to have to get herself out of there. She does so. Ball is there for Maleshi again. England running across to defend. Just one on the right for Canada. Titley on the left, couldn't hold the pass, so it wasn't quick delivery. She had to take that one in herself. Maleshi onto replacement Kirby. Good tackle from Katie McLean. Ball squirts out, quickest one to react, Rowena Burnfield, but the penalty is coming to Canada. They take it quickly through skipper Kelly Russell. I think she said that England won't back. Well, England can only go back as far as their try line. They're on the try line now. Russell taps and goes again herself. Feeds the ball off. It's gone backwards, knocked on the floor. Titley out along the line. Amanda Thornborough on now as well. Brittany Waters brought down. Forwards decide to carry. England being asked questions defensively here. Titley, runs into her own player in Farella. Maleshi out to the left once more, using Thornborough. Ball is on the floor. Waters, Maleshi. Front row is Laura Russell, sister of the skipper. Ball squirts out, but well held on. And England have the penalty. Mohan wants to take it quickly to try and catch the Canadians. Pushed up high, there's space in behind them, and it's worked for them. Magali Harvey, lovely little sell. Gets rid of Lydia Thompson. Little dummy. Maleshi, penalty advantage coming to Canada. But there is a high tackle. That's the decision.
I'm not sure which tackle. It must be a tackle from Burford. I'd like to see that again. I think maybe a bit of a harsh call, but Canada will be pleased to have their ball back. Really good chase again from England. Thompson with the initial chase and Burford coming with the tackle after, but unfortunately given the penalty away, and Canada would get possession back.
Good vision from Natasha Hunt to put the kick in downfield. Canada were piling all their bodies into an attacking line, and I think we're going to see another change for England. Harriet Miller-Mills making way for Becky Essex. Hugely experienced campaigner Becky Essex, winning her 47th cap, plays for Richmond. England with possession. Mo Hunt on for Purdy. England getting defenders there, ruck defenders there to try and secure the ball, but perhaps not in the right areas. Lucky to maintain possession there because Maria Sampson was really trying to counter-ruck.
Yeah, and Canada again, lack of discipline at the breakdown and penalty given from coming round from the side there. And England yet again able to head up towards Canada 22.
So Canada are back up to a full complement of 15 as Karen Packin rejoins.
And she'll be needed here to try and thwart any England attack again. Will they keep it in their forwards again, or will they mix things up? Gone for a shortened line out here.
Vicky Fleetwood. Rowena Belfield, dummies to the front, to Taylor at the back. Mo Hunt, crash ball from McLean onto Alfonsi, and I think she's taken out Zusman with that. England coming to the left-hand side through Kerry Large. Ball squirts out. Mo Hunt wants to try and get going. It's another penalty for England. McLean tries to take this one into the corner. Well, you see this a lot from Maggie Alfonsi.
Really good hit from Blackwood there on Alfonsi, but it shows Alfonsi's strength. Massive hit, but she keeps the ball and keeps her leg driving and sets the ball up for England, but impressed with the tackle from Blackwood.
I think it was Jackie Titley in there as well. England considering bringing Latoya Mason on, and Natasha Hunt comes off. She's been busy for most of the game so far. Had a good game, had a good impact, I'd say, Spence.
She has had a good game. I think she'll be pleased with that. Really good. She's obviously looking to keep the tempo up, taking a lot of quick penalties. Toyo need to keep that speed up now, and I think her distribution, the speed of ball out of the pass, will certainly do that.
Throw-in is to the front to Burnfield. Moving into the final quarter of the game, coming up to the hour mark. Alfonsi with possession. Mason goes in for her first distribution. Good pass from her. McLean, pops it up short. Thought we might see another prop over the line there. I think Claire Purdy thought so as well. McLean, Kerry Large, Amber Reid. Couldn't get the ball away, but it's come for Large on the loop round. Good awareness from her. 6 metres out now, England. Latoya Mason. Little short ball. Did that go backwards? I think it just went forwards, and it'll be a scrum down to Canada.
England replacements.
So final changes being made now by England as we see the front rows being replaced. Emma Croker coming on with Rocky Clark.
Yeah, so it's Claire Purdy and Fleetwood going off there. Claire Purdy's had a really good game as well. I've been really impressed with her and Sophie Hemming in the start of this game. But what two replacements, vast experienced replacements to come on. Rocky Clark, I know, will want to play her part in this game.
Yes, indeed. Gary Street talks very highly of Rocky Clark. She's got 86 caps, this her 87th. So her experience and that stat tells you a lot, but, well, standout prop in the world, possibly 3 or 4 years. Absolute stalwart in that position. Plays for Worcester. Canada pick and go with JC Murphy. Ball is back for Titley. Right-footed. Decent clearance from Titley. Amber Reid runs over, try and get hold of the ball. Thinks about a quick one, but England will happily take this opportunity and the first throw-in for Emma Croker. Taylor jumps down for Mason. Comes through McLean, but Kerry Large, I think, taken round the neck. Advantage being played by the referee. Comes out for Croker. Blackwood with the tackle. England still going backwards from the advantage.
Yeah, England looking to use Maggie Alfonsi as the dummy runner there. I think Canada read it, but high tackle against Kerry, and again England have an opportunity. What will Katie do here? Think it's kickable range today. She's going to keep that scoreboard ticking over. I think that's a fair decision from Katie.
Well, it's right in the middle of the park, so I think her thinking probably is, I'm not going to get an awful lot of distance going down either touchline. One place I could stick the ball might be through the sticks. Katie McLean led England in 2012 to their 7th Six Nations title. Strikes that one right-footed. She's on song with another one. Great work from Katie McLean from the boot this evening. Takes England up to 32 points. They passed the 30-point mark. And she'll be pleased with that one.
Yeah, really good. Over 30 points. And I'm sure the message to England will be keep it going, keep the tempo going, keep ramping it up. Don't give Canada an inch.
Knock-on advantage being played to England. Mason, Alfonsi, little short ball. Oh, that's wonderful work and a decent run from Aitchison. Up to the halfway line. It's not tidy ball for Mason. What's the decision there? It is a penalty against England. Little bit of afters.
Unlucky that. Unlucky. A really good run for Aitchison then. She's such a strong ball carrier. She's been playing back row a little bit at Bristol, and I was on the receiving end of some of her runs a couple of weeks ago with my home club Aylesford, but that's what we want to see. Likes of Aitchison coming on, taking the ball on. Real impact from England's bench. Let's see if Canada can use this line out now and really get an attack in base and get somewhere towards England's try line.
It was an excellent run from Aitchison. Penalty Canada, and I think we may see our second sin binning of the game, and this time it is an England player. It's Rowena Burnfield, I think. There is Rowena Burnfield taking 10 minutes. I think Katie McLean asking the referee if there had been a warning. The referee saying she has specifically warned Rowena Burnfield. So Canada pop the ball down the line for an attacking line out. Still just got 3 points on the board. How they'd love to turn this opportunity into a try. Toya Blackwood picks it up on the floor. Oh dear, fumble from Titley, and who's that? Maggie Alfonsi straight on it. England thinking they've got a bit of room on the right hand side here. Get the ball out for Thompson. Oh, she's juggled it, Thompson. And well, this could be a chance for Magali Harvey. She hacks the ball on. Harvey chases after it. The ball's going to beat her over the dead ball line. Referee playing advantage. They're going to come back for the penalty. Oh, sorry, I think the knock on from Lydia Thompson. No advantage coming from that opportunity for Harvey. Ball beating everybody. Canadian scrum just between the 22 and the 10-metre line.
So Canada now with the advantage in the forwards, one player up. Let's see if they can use this scrum. England will want to work really hard on this, and even with 7 players, really try and put the pressure on. And McCroker, quite a vocal hooker, just pointing out exactly where the mark is in case Canada didn't know before the scrum.
Always useful. Mary-Pierre Pinot-Reid waiting to come on for Canada. Ball is in the back, picked up by Murphy. Tackle made by Alfonsi. And England might have turnover ball here. They certainly do. Mason out for Katie McLean. Huge boot downfield. Oh dear, it's been knocked on by Elisa Aleri. Canadians thinking they've got away with it, but was knocked on, and will give England a decent position. And well, that's the benefit of the size of boot that Katie McLean has, spotting an opportunity like that, putting pressure on the back three and forcing the error.
Indeed, and Canada had that attacking scrum but couldn't get anywhere. Tackle came in from Maggie, and it was a fantastic turnover after that. I'm not sure if it was Hannah Gallagher, but brilliant work to get the ball back, and Canada again find themselves going backwards. What can they do to get over the try line? That's Ruth Laybourne there, who's got masses and masses of pace, one of the fastest rugby players about at the moment, really showed that at Twickenham against France, so she'll definitely be wanting to get the ball in her hands.
Yes, won't be a pretty sight for Magali Harvey, who'll be marking down Ruth Laybourne's wing. Referee not happy with that scrum. Telling the players to wait. Bit of communication with the new front rows. Smile from Latoya Mason. I think possibly the players reacting to the call, but not in the right order. There we go. That's a bit better. Ball comes back. Oh, it's not easy ball for Alfonsi. She did really well to pick that up. Considering the scrum was coming backwards to her at a rate of knots. Mason on to McLean. McLean dances around 3 or 4 tackles, then gets the ball away to Rocky Clark.
Run into her own player, unfortunately. Maggie did do well to get the ball back. I'd be interested to see that again, because I thought it was actually a little knock on, but number 8 is not a position she's that familiar with, but she did a good job initially getting the ball out of the scrum.
Yeah, the ball was bouncing around and a lot of legs, forest of legs down there. Alfonsi did well. Canada have got their back split, 4 to the right, 2 to the left, behind this scrum. Titley waiting for it right. Immense pressure from Latoya Mason, so the pickup is at the back from JC Murphy. She's not able to hold it. Vicky Fleetwood picks up. Good tackle by Latoya Blackwood. Aitchison with the run. Oh, it finds Alfonsi through Hannah Gallagher, but it was untidy. Titley, little jogger with it first. Thornborough. Then it's out for Waters. Ball's come forward now for England. Advantage had been played. Referee decides that we will set the scrum at this moment.
Getting a little bit frantic there, and a few errors from both teams actually. But we saw again Aitchison with the ball in her hand and see the damage she can do when she's going forward with the ball. Some good little offloads at the beginning of that. So Becca Essex has gone up into second row for England to cover Rowena Burnfield while she's on the bench, which is why Hannah Gallagher and Maggie Alfonsi are having to cover 8 at the back of the scrum.
So, replacement being made for Canada. Tyson Bukaboom coming on, and Latoya Blackwood coming off. She's played really well for Canada, and she's got a bit of a grimace on her face, but well, I hope she's okay. Great performer this evening.
She's played really well. I think she's been Canada's standout performer actually. She's taken the ball on, she's competed well at the breakdown. She's had a really physical performance, and I think Canada will certainly miss her now in this last 10 or 15 minutes or so.
22-year-old Bukaboom from Uxbridge in Ontario, replacing Latoya Blackwood. Canada will get another chance.
A little fumble from Mags. I might remind her afterwards how difficult it is to play number 8 at the back of the scrum.
I'm sure the reply would be, well, if you brought your boots, Spence. Ball is there for Canada. It's not tidy, and penalty for England. Not quite sure on the signal from the referee, but Latoya Mason gets the ball away, and oh, it's a barracking run from Sasha Aitchison. Passes outside for Alfonsi. It wasn't the easiest to gather. Alfonsi knocks on, she thumps the ground. What a burst from Aitchison. She's got real pace, hasn't she?
Oh, she has, definitely, and it's really good to see her transferring some of her club form onto the pitch. And I was about to say, as she was running through, that it was really good vision from her to offload to Maggie, as we can see her running here. Great spot of the gap, really good acceleration from a prop, and good vision to put the pass out to Mags, but just didn't quite get the execution right.
Yeah, wasn't the tidiest of passes. She's certainly got the stamina. She's cycled from Land's End to John O'Groats and back for charity, Sasha Aitchison. That shows you what sort of engine those thighs have got, what sort of stamina she has, and She showed great pace there. Maleshi out to Titley, who pushes the ball into touch.
Yeah, as we look at her breakthrough, yeah, fantastic gap, fantastic run. Whether perhaps she could have just stepped inside and kept going, we'll never know. But really good, great run from Sasha. Hopefully we'll see more of that.
Yes, Emma Croker waits for the line out. Tamara Taylor down for Mason. McLean, Kerry Large, Michaela Staniford over from her right wing. Ruth Laybourne tackle, didn't really get going there. England have managed to get in and secure the ball, but I think the penalty, yes, is against England.
England just going off their feet there. I think Ruth, although not a vastly experienced player, is becoming a marked player. Canada didn't want to give her any space there. They're obviously wary of her pace.
Yes, they certainly were. Didn't have so much as a postage stamp to work in there, Ruth Laybourne, before she was flattened. Bit of Chris Ashtonitis. We know what we can do, what you can do. We're going to stop you doing it. Canada with ball then. What can they present inside the last 10 minutes? Ball is to ground there. I think it went backwards a little bit, but England putting hands in the ruck there. And Laura Russell gets it out. Titley screams from the Canada coach, wanting them to get going. But the ball did just go forward. And here's Rowena Burnfield making her way back onto the field to take England back up to 15.
Yeah, so England didn't concede a single point in that time. Canada will be disappointed that they didn't take advantage of that player down in the forwards. And Mags will probably be quite happy that she can go back to her position on the flank now, and Becky Essex takes her reign back at 8.
There we are. Latoya Mason gets the ball in. Becky Essex picks and goes at the back. Good strength from Essex, getting away from Kelly Russell. Mason uses her experience to ruck the players out the well. Oh, little reverse ball from Rocky Clark. Top of her arm was held, so she released it backwards. Referee says play on. Hannah Gallagher picks and goes. Canada, well, they seem to be trying to ruck against England players in an offside position and somehow then winning penalties for it, which I can't quite understand.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. There's a few strange decisions. I think actually Rocky knocked the ball on earlier in that breakdown, but Canada have got the ball back in a way.
Ball with Canada from Kirby. Tackle is from Clark. Maleshi, that's the halfway line. Pick up from Bukaboom. Turnover almost from Gallagher if England could have got players in. Little short ball. England don't commit too many people to that breakdown, allowing Canada chance to come wide. Kerry Large gets an arm on Harvey. High tackle, penalty given. Kelly Russell goes once more. Peanut Reid. Ball there now. England trying to get that. Is there going to be a penalty coming? Is it there for Canada? Yes, it is. Good dig from Maleshi. Out to the right hand side. Thornborough uses Aleri. Thinks about the short dart down the right. Good tackle from Staniford. Stopped it at source. Canada making some valuable yards down that right hand side. JC Murphy. Stopped by Gallagher. Maleshi. Titley. Oh, little short pass. Titley's reliable with the boot, but I'm not so sure that her passing's been great this evening. Stuttered a few times. Thornborough. Good strength from Burford in the tackle. Burford in again on Maleshi. Burford's on the wrong side. She's going to have to get herself out of there. I think she's been penalised.
I think that was quite a harsh penalty. She really looked like she'd got away from that breakdown area. Wasn't affecting the ball in the end.
Yeah,
Rowena's going to have to move now.
Yeah, referee a little bit quick to blow that moment perhaps, but Maleshi decides to go wide. Titley, that's better service out for O'Leary. Oh, O'Leary steps in from 3 of them. Oh, but excellent wrestling in the tackle from Hannah Gallagher, winning the ball back for England. It's on the floor and it now is available. Rocky Clark. Oh dear, Aitchison just couldn't hold it. O'Leary scored 4 tries against England in the Nations Cup. But there was a knock-on in the middle of the park into the last 4 minutes of the match. And Canada will have possession in the middle of the park. Kath Spencer.
I'd love to see Hannah Gallagher's stats today. She looks like she's done great work in the breakdown, turning over a lot of ball. She's not a player that necessarily runs, makes great breaks and 50-metre runs down the pitch, but she does the work in the breakdown and allows the likes of Maggie Alfonsi to play a more open game. I've been really impressed with her in the close quarters today.
Yes, indeed. Emma Croker on, of course, with the new front row. I thought Vicky Fleetwood had a good game as well. Good game in the loose. Kayla Maleshi gets the ball away. It's not tidy for Titley. Ball is knocked on, and you can see the look on Jackie Titley's face. Will there be a final attacking swan song for England in this last couple of minutes?
Great platform again from England, just inside their own half. I'm sure they'll be thinking there's time for another try.
Scrum's going backwards, England with possession. Becky Essex wrestling her way forward. Ball's available for Mason. Katie McLean bouncing towards the right touchline. Did it go out on the full though? Yes, it did. Just a metre too long from McLean. Ruth Laybourne was chasing that one.
Katie disappointed with that kick. Let's see if they can disrupt this line out and win the ball back.
Kirby. Ball down for Maleshi. Oh, she had a heat-seeking Maggie Alfonsi on her tail there, Kayla Maleshi. Opted to take it forward rather than dig it out wide. And Canada rumbling forward effectively. Haven't seen much of that from them. Ball is on the floor. And available. Kelly Russell. Out to Thornborough. Waters. Ball out wide for O'Leary. Michaela Staniford looking to bring down Farella over the whitewash, which she manages to do.
Yeah, I think England defended that really well. Shepherded across. Didn't look panicked at all in defence then. Canada just a little bit flat in their attack, really.
Yes, Canada going wide but not making an awful lot of ground forward. Just a moment to thank all of you who are watching from Canada as well. Done our best to try and identify some of the strengths and weaknesses of the visitors here this evening as well. Sasha Aitchison comes forward to Titley. Maleshi nearly wrestling the ball from her. But I'm not quite sure what time it is in Canada. Certainly earlier than 8-9 o'clock in the evening. So good afternoon to everyone watching there. Into the last couple of moments here at the Twickenham Stoop in southwest London on rfu.com/England Women Live. Ball is with Canada. Titley up to the halfway line. Gets the ball back for Maleshi. Out to the right hand side. Kelly Russell. Ball goes back. Last few seconds. Canada trying to keep the ball alive with Farella. She doesn't want to get turned over. Ball is there for Bukaboom. Tamara Taylor with the tackle. Canada now inside their own 22. Don't want to get isolated. As a chorus of Swing Low, Sweet Chariot can gently be heard to ring around. There might have just been a knock on there by Canada. There was. And referee blows the final whistle. It's a resounding victory for England. Certainly defensively they've done well to keep Canada just down to 3 points, but with the tries and the reliable trusty boot of Katie McLean, it's a decent looking scoreline as well of England 32, Canada 3, and a pleasing result, Catherine Spencer.
Yeah, great result from England there. Definitely a message sent to the world, and Canada will be looking back to going back to the drawing board. Canada looked a little bit tired, I thought, at the end of that game, a little bit laboured, but it was in a very first game, and England, I think, performed really well, particularly in the first half. Really impressed with the forward pack. We talk about the pace that England have got in the wings and the desire to go wide, but the forwards had a really strong first half performance today.
Will England be disappointed that they only got the one try in the second half?
I think so, yeah, and I'm sure at half-time the message would have been to come up, to ramp it up, keep that intensity going up, and I think they would be a little bit disappointed, and that's something they'll need to look at following this and the France game. As we can see, Marley just coming out on crutches there. Hopefully that's a precaution, just making sure they do everything possible so that she can rehab quickly and get back to full fitness.
So first try of the game was from Sophie Hemming. Lydia Thompson then got on the score sheet, and 11 points from the boot of Katie McLean gave us a half-time score of 21-3. And Sophie Hemming was at the back of the rolling ball that got things started in the second half. And we can just have a look at that. Only try of the second half. Pack working as an 8 and Hemming dotting down. You'd have enjoyed that one, Spencer.
I would have loved that try, being stuck in the middle of that somewhere, really controlled, great body height. This is off the training park for the forwards, and skills that they work with Graham Smith, and they're all really, really happy with that. Really great try.
And after that try from Sophie Hemming, we had 2 further penalties from Katie McLean, taking her personal haul to 17 points this evening. And the final score for England of 32 to Jackie Titley's single penalty at the beginning of the match. 3 points for Canada, and you can see the England team with coach Gary Street now just making their way over to the far side to receive the plaudits from the decent crowd that's turned up to the Twickenham Stoop, and we'll have a reaction for you in just a couple of minutes from both coaches, so do stay with us. Catherine Spencer, thanks very much for your company here this evening. A final word from you?
It's been a pleasure to be here. Great to watch a really good performance from England. Very much looking forward to seeing them back in the Six Nations.
Yes, starting the 2013-14 campaign as they would like to, bearing in mind that it will finish with a World Cup in France. So I'll just check out for a moment from the commentary position and make my way down to conduct some interviews for you and some post-match reaction. Do stay with us here on rfu.com/England Women Live. We'll be back with you with some post-match reaction in just a couple of moments. Well, Katie McLean, congratulations. A great result for England, and just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, undoubtedly. When you come into this game, that kind of going to be a really, really tough test. And honestly, out there was absolutely manic at times. They ran us to death, and all credit to them. I'm not sure the scoreline reflects that game, but yeah, it was a real tough one, and really pleased with the result.
2 tries in the first half, 1 try in the second. I imagine at half-time you thought you might be able to kick on. There was expected a physical battle from them, but as you say, it was really the pace and tempo that seemed to maybe surprise you a little.
Yeah, definitely. Like we said, we knew they were going to be physical, but I mean the speed of ball in which they played with at times really stretched us. Yeah, glad to get a couple of tries, but you know what it is, at the end of the day, this was about getting a win for us and build on performance from France. I think at times we really did that today.
At a personal haul of 17 points, pleasing performance from the boot?
Yeah, God, yeah. There's sometimes a lot of pressure on that, and it's really nice on the back of kicking quite well at Twickenham. Bit of pressure to come and kick well here, and yeah, really pleased.
And with Canada in the group for the World Cup next year, good to get a bit of a psychological blow in.
Yeah, undoubtedly. I mean, that kind of adds an extra edge to this game, I suppose. And for us, we know that there's bits in there that we need to improve on, and I think that's brilliant going into the next 7 months maybe before a World Cup. But yeah, good psychological edge for us.
Enjoy celebrating tonight. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Nice one. Thank you. Well, Kelly Russell, commiserations. What was your view of that performance?
There's a lot of things we need to work on. It was a smash-up game, so we're going to take a lot away from this and build to the future.
I know England expected a physical encounter from you, and they got that, but there was also a lot of tempo on the game. You've also been pleased with your ability to keep the ball alive.
Yeah, fitness is a big thing for us, and that's what we want to do. We want to keep running it and push other teams to keep up with us.
And at the end of a European tour, how are you feeling over how Canada have performed in this time?
I'm proud of the girls, the whole tour. It's been a long tour, and we've come together really nicely, and we're looking forward to building off this, like I said.
And just towards the end of next season, there's a World Cup to prepare for in France. How are you feeling having met one of your pool teams this evening?
It's great. It's great that we've seen England a couple of times, and you know, like any team, we've got to take everybody seriously who we come up against, and we're gonna bring it.
All right, commiserations tonight. Thanks very much for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you. Well, Gary Street, congratulations. What's your view at the end of that one?
Relief, I think. I've seen a lot written about us over the last few months, and I knew that once we got the band back together and we had a bit of prep that we'd be okay. And but yeah, it was 2 tough games in the autumn, but to finishing off was I can have a nice birthday tomorrow now.
Oh, well, that's good to know. You were expecting a physical battle from Canada. They brought a little bit more than that. There was quite a lot of pace on the game, wasn't there?
Yeah, they did. Very quick, very physical, and I think that the 3 points is probably the most pleasing thing. I thought we defended outstandingly. I thought the work rate in midfield was fantastic, and that's probably the most pleasing thing about tonight.
I'm not going to bring on major conversation about disappointments, but 2 tries first half, just the one the second. Would you have liked to have seen them kick on a little bit more?
I'd seen 100 tries in the second half, Nick, to be honest, but I would have taken 32-3 this morning without doubt. The Canada are a good side, and I think we managed to stem them.
And finally, just a mention of the World Cup group next summer. What do you think this does in terms of a psychological blow, getting them back after the 4 Nations?
Yeah, it was huge, I think, and Canada had a big celebration at the Nations Cup when they beat us out there, and rightly so. They played well, but I just thought that with a chance in the autumn to play them again, we'd be able to give them something to think about, and I think we probably have.
Well done, enjoy tomorrow.
Thanks, Nick.
Nice one, thanks mate. Well, so there we are. England closed the evening victorious against Canada. They'll be pleased with that result after a victory as well at Twickenham Stadium just over the road on Saturday night. Sets them up well for a Six Nations campaign. And, well, Gary Street will be pleased to start a season going towards the World Cup next August with 2 wins. From all of us here at the Stoop, thanks very much for joining us. The final score here of England 32, Canada 3.